My name is Karen McConville, and I'm the owner of Home Helpers, along with my husband, but I am the sole operator because he works at UVA. So Home Helpers is, as many of you know, it is a home care companion company, and I am moving into personal care. And we'll go through the slides and tell you exactly what that entails. So when people run into a situation where they need care, they usually have a lot of questions. Usually, you're at the beginning and you think, well, where do I begin? Well, usually you start talking to your siblings probably, and then probably your friends after that, and then you start getting on the internet nowadays to search. And so once you've kind of done all that, you say, well, where do I go from there? And so, obviously the first question is, well, how much is it going to cost? And who's going to pay for it? And let's just say it is your parent. You're probably going to see if mom and dad can afford it. Sorry. There's a lot of things to go through. Sometimes your parents don't want that help. You may need the help for them because maybe you're trying to juggle everything, which is hard. I mean, you probably have a family of your own, and so you're probably going to look into care to help you out with that situation. But sometimes it is hard to sit down and talk to your parents about allowing someone to come in. So how much does it cost? So I put some examples here. MetLife did a survey back in 2011, and I put some of the annual amounts so you can kind of compare. So for a private room in a nursing home, you can see annually it's about $87,000, which is about $239 a day. If you're in an assisted living place, it's going to cost you about $41,000 a year, roughly. And if you have an adult daycare type program that you might take your loved one to, it's going to run you about $70 a day. For home care agencies like mine and many others in this area, it can run about $19 to $21 an hour, depending on whether it's companion care or personal care. So that just kind of gives you an idea of what those costs can run. And so how will you pay for it? Well, a lot of people with, especially companion care, it would be private pay. So there's many other options. I mean, a lot of people will also have long-term insurance, reverse mortgages, which Walt, right? Walt does. Government assistance like Medicare and Medicaid, and then there's VA benefits. Now, I put this up to agencies versus registries. Agencies are more like my type of company and the other home care companies in this area. We employ our own people. We have workers' comp. We have liability insurance for our workers. We pay our employees directly. We pay all their taxes. We do all of our own training. And so these are just some of the differences, whereas you can see with registries, which are usually just sending in contractors, they don't cover a lot of this stuff. We also do background checks, and we also check all the references. So how do you talk to your loved one? Well, I mean, this is something that one of the things that Sue Lieberman does, which is a very helpful service. Sometimes it's hard to talk to your loved one about needing care. I know a real quick story. I'm the youngest of 7, and my dad had passed away years ago, and my mom has since passed away. But a few years before she passed away, we all started noticing little, she would forget a little more, and you just start noticing things around the house. And so one of my brothers, when he went to visit her, he just sat down and just, told her he wanted to talk to her and said, we're on top of it. There's 7 of us. We have a huge family. I have many, many nephews and nieces. So we're all around. Everybody lives in Northern Virginia. He just wanted her to know that we were there, and we noticed things, but it wasn't bad. She was forgetting, but it wasn't. She could still live there, and just to comfort her, to know that we were on top of it, and we were not going to let her in any way be in a situation that was unsafe. And after that conversation, it was just kind of a nice, okay, so everything's going to be taken care of if she needs something. So one thing about Home Helpers is we have been in business for over 15 years. It is a franchise. There's a lot of good companies around here, there's no doubt, and we all, many of us do offer the same things. And I think it's just a personal choice who you go with. Like I said, we all do background checks. We all check our references. There's many, many similarities. So one of the things different about, I'm going to skip this slide because I went through quite a bit of this. These are a few of the services that we do offer for companion care. Now when you get into personal care, personal care involves things like bathing and dressing and feeding. But other than that, companion care is kind of, I always associate it with something you might go help out your parent with. Take them to the grocery store, take them to their doctor's appointments and things like that. So one of the things Home Helpers is a little bit different is we also offer direct link services. And direct link services is things like, we all know about the personal emergency response system. That's just one of the things we offer. Now, on average, people age 65 and over, they do say that they will fall at least once. When they have the PERS unit, as they call it, the average time that a person can stay in their home is 6 years longer than they normally would have if they had not had that. Because a lot of times they can push, if something happens, they can push that button, and if they can get help more immediately, then the effects of whatever the fall was are reduced because they can get help a lot sooner. So one thing that the PERS unit does is when you push the button, it goes to the call center. And that call center will have on their list all the people that you've designated for them to call. And so obviously if it's a real emergency, they're going to have 911 come. They may have a neighbor come, or they may have somebody in your family, who's ever on your list. And this is a suite of all our services that we do offer. The medication dispenser is very helpful. I'm getting ready to put one of those in one of my clients' homes. We all forget. I mean, if you've ever, had medicine you've had to take, I mean, before nighttime you're thinking, oh, I forgot to take that pill. When you get older, you have a lot of, sometimes a lot of medicine that you're taking. And it's just a helpful way to make sure you're on track with all your meds. Direct Link is one of the companies where we don't have any long-term commitments. It's month by month. It is very affordable, and the response time is very, very quick once you push that button. They do also have it's called a fall sensor. So if the person literally does fall and maybe has had a stroke, and obviously they can't push that, it detects that fall as well. I just put that on there. It's CSAA 5 Diamond certified, and that's kind of what that entails. So, anybody have any questions? Yes.